What's going on, everybody? Welcome to ARS Next Up. I'm not usually in the broadcast booth, but I'm hanging with you guys tonight, which means I am last minute setting everything up here. I've got to check on one thing real quick because I do have Josh McQuiggan in the booth, but you will not be able to hear him for 2 seconds. Josh, say what's up, man. You're live.
Howdy. How are we doing tonight?
Excellent. New microphone, new Josh, new you, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. I've heard a lot of things about this new microphone. I've heard it sounds bad. I've heard it sounds good, but I'm hoping it's gonna hold up and sound well for these boys watching at home.
Definitely, dude. So we got a bunch of drivers out here on track doing the old qualifying, getting some quali laps in. A whole bunch of people out here. Track position going to be super important, especially when it comes to a road course. And man, it's Watkins Glen. I'm so disappointed that I gotta get in the booth because it's my favorite road course, but I suck at road courses. So we're really doing the viewers a favor here by not getting in the booth. Josh, walk us through it, man. Tell us a little bit about the Glen. Tell us about the NEXTUP stats, things like that.
Well, the NEXTUP series has never been here before. This is a new track to the NEXTUP drivers here in the Gen 6 cars. It's a very simple road course. You have that long front straightaway down into a right-hander. You go up through the S's, back onto another straightaway chicane, then through the boot, down another straightaway, and you basically back home at the start-finish line. Very simple road course. You can get around this place pretty easily. It might snap loose throughout a lot of these corners. The Gen 6 car is a rough car at the road courses, but it usually presents very entertaining racing.
Yeah, before I jumped in the booth, I realized that I got to do some practice laps, so I got in there. As we see John Steele looking like me right now, that was pretty much me coming out of the carousel, just whipping that thing around. Good job, John. Get back out there, buddy. You could do it. But yeah, I love Watkins Glen, but that's the first thing I noticed, man, is that the Gen 6 car is kind of like driving a brick around this thing. It is fun, but it's you gotta work it a little bit. Kind of takes some finesse.
It is not meant for the road courses. It is just a heavy hunk of machinery. You just gotta wheel it around here. You kind of gotta force it.
Zach Beekman, no! Oh my gosh, Zach Beekman just...
A lot of problems here in qualifying, wow.
Let's go check out who else is out here. We got a Jonathan Dolly out here currently running some laps. Where is he at? There he is. Dolly currently posting a time of 1:14.473. That's going to lock him into 11th place, which is right in the middle of the turn 1 chaos. Mason Thompson currently sitting at top of the leaderboard. This is what I love about qualifying, man, is that qualifying at road courses, it's not like an oval where everybody's kind of like within 0.5 of a second of each other, or even within a couple seconds of each other. We go from 19th at a 1:19 all the way up to 7 seconds quicker with Mason Thompson at a 1:12. So really, really excited to see who our all-star road racers are tonight to show off their skills. It is our only road course in both series, in both seasons. We only go to one road course. We are majority of an oval league, so we'll see. We'll give those guys who practice road all the time a chance to actually show off their skill set real quick. Josh, we're trying something new tonight, man. You want to tell the viewers about it? What's going to happen at lap 12?
There will be a stage break at the end of lap 11. Coming to lap 12, the top 10 will receive points. That's 10 points for the stage winner, all the way down to 1 point for the person who finishes in 10th place. It's going to be interesting to see how that mixes in with the fuel strategy. I believe the fuel run is just long enough to make it at about 13 to 15 laps. It's going to be very interesting to see how these guys manage, what the strategies are going to be coming to that stage caution. I know at these road courses we could see some of these guys pitting early because of how long the lap time is, so they can get a jump on the guys that stay out for stage points.
As the drivers continue to finish up their qualifying, let's give a shout out real quick. We'll get over the entire grid here in just a minute, but this race, big shout out to our sponsor, man. This race is currently called the Harris Hill Amusement Park 30 for the 30 laps around the Glen. Harris Hill Amusement Park. This is sponsored by the one and only James Goodwin. This is his what is it? I think Harris Hill Amusement Park. You know what? I'm gonna have to talk to him. Is James still on track? He's not. He's currently showing 0 miles per hour. Let's get him in the booth real quick.
I'm gonna have to go find him unless you can do it first.
Oh, I'll get him.
I don't think he's in
James!
the chat.
What's up?
What's up, buddy? First off, man, big shout out. Let me put the info back up on the screen again. Big shout out to Harris Hill Amusement Park 30 at the Glen. Tell us a little bit about Harris Hill Amusement Park, what it is.
So, small family amusement park, been around since 1947. My parents have had it for 24 years, 23 years, something like that about now. Local, we're about half hour from Watkins Glen racetrack, so we'll be up there this weekend for the NASCAR race.
Ooh.
So I always like to support the local track when we do this stuff, and like to sponsor it a little bit. My dad loves it. I think he'll be watching right now if he isn't already.
What's there? What's at the amusement park?
So it's nothing huge. It's not like anything like, Six Flags or Disney World. We got driving range for golf balls, go-karts, batting cages, putt-putt, arcade, kiddie rides, concessions, that kind of stuff. Just a small little place.
And James, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
Almost 30.
So you got to grow up at an amusement park?
Yeah, I did. I spent a lot of times on the go-karts. A lot of time on the go-karts.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you first dibs, man. Tell us what you're expecting at the Glen, as you're currently haven't been dethroned from P3. Tell us what you're expecting going in here tonight.
I'm just hoping I can keep it on the track. I mean, I ran some practice. I'm comfortable with the track, but when you start talking about the NASCARs, they obviously don't handle like a GT3 car. So they're unpredictable. And the next thing you think you're doing just fine, and the next thing you know, it snaps around on you and you're in the wall. So I'm just going to try to keep it on the track. I'd love to stay in the top 5, but we'll see.
Hey, I'm counting on you, dude. You have all this go-kart experience from a kid. I'm counting on you to make some things happen here.
Track that does 15 miles. We do turn right on that track, though, so that's my advantage here.
There you go. You're gonna take all that expertise and bring it home P1 tonight.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
All right, James, thanks for the sponsorship, dude. I'm looking forward to seeing what you put together here at the Glen, and also have fun this weekend at the NASCAR race, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you. All right, James Goodwin, appreciate it again, sponsoring the Next Up series, Harris Hill Amusement Park. I'm going to make that lower third just a little bit smaller for you guys so you guys don't miss any of the action here on track, so don't mind it moving around just a little bit. There we go. We'll just slide it right down there. Shout out to the parents, though. If you guys are tuned in from good old Harris Hill, shout out to you. Glad you got to hear from James Goodwin himself, the go-kart champion of 1999. Josh, it's time for the grid, buddy. You want to give me a good read off of who's starting where?
I suppose I can. I do see a familiar name, at least to myself, up there in pole position. That'd be Mason Thompson, who will be your pole sitter. He pushed me to a win in NIS at Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to be rooting for him tonight. A little bit of broadcaster bias. Hopefully that doesn't jinx him.
Shout out, Mason! Go ahead, man. Go through it.
Alrighty, so we have Mason Thompson, your pole sitter, at a 1:12.054, fastest lap of the day by 5/10. Then Chad Oxendine, I believe.
Sounds right.
James Goodwin 3 in third position. Nathan Barrows, Matt Frady, Kevin Ritchie, Clay Sarton, Eric McFarland, Austin Weingard, Mike Dombrowski, rounding out your top 10. From then on, Ryan Philbrick, missing out on the top 10 just by a little. Jonathan Dolly, Joseph McGill, Zachary Beekman, Zach Case, Thomas Helk, Zake Pinnen. Oh man, I always mess up this one. Jake Pinnen.
We'll get there.
Guro. I always mess that one up. That one's a hard one.
Go ahead.
John Steele, Jaron Valley, Anthony Young, Devin Wentworth, Randy Arms, Kyle A. Ritchie, Dylan Falovich, Zach Zaldivar. Yourself is being scored here, all the way down here, but I believe you're up here in the broadcast booth. Casey Brown, Zach Scare, Wyatt Garrett, Brandon H. Yates, and Spencer Leaf rounding out your field in the 31st position. Large field, a lot of new faces. Going to be an exciting race here at the Glen.
Dude, large field is an understatement. I don't know if we've ever had 30 cars start at Watkins Glen before. Normally, when you have an oval league, they hate the road courses, so they all opt to just, I'm just going to skip this week. But not these guys, man. We are looking good. Let's go ahead and let's see if we get the rear chase view here. 30 cars lined up on grid here is absolute insanity. It's going to be a good time, though. I just hope they can all make it through turn 1. If you guys want to check that out, I'll pin that real quick in the chat. That is Harris Hill Amusement Park. Thanks to James Goodwin for sending that out. Harris Hill Amusements. You can harrishhillamusements.com. You can go check out their page right there. Appreciate him again for sponsoring this. All right. Let's catch up on chat real quick. Sycamore says, I'm not going to finish, so this will be fun. Well, not with that attitude. You need a can-do attitude when you come into a road course. Helltrek says, $10 says I die. All right, if you don't die, I want you to take that $10 and put it towards our charity, because that's what we do here. ARS is all about charity, man. If you guys want to go check out our charity right now, go to givebutter.com/race affinity. You can donate today to a race against blindness. Currently, we've raised $623 for charity, man, and we have a goal set for $1,000 to November. We have that goal set for November at $1,000, and we are already well ahead of the game. So, looking forward to meeting that goal and hopefully passing it in the future. That James Goodwin scheme is going to look good today. Let's go check it out, man. Let's go see what James is rocking real quick. James got the 911 never forget. That is an amazing scheme. I think James might be the only one out here right now in the 911 scheme. There he is on that I think it's inside outside row. I don't know how it works. You see the black car with the never forget 911 with the twin towers up top. Rocking the number 11 as well. James Goodwin, also the sponsor, also best paint scheme of the night. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, back up to pole. We're coming around the carousel. Only a few more turns before we get back to green. The question is, do we make it through turn 1 or not? Josh, what do you think?
I say not. Turn 1 is a difficult corner, especially with 31 cars. That is a large field. I feel like they're going to stack them up pretty big. There's going to be a problem, but it's just a matter of where.
So here's the thing about road courses, man, is we do localized cautions. So you will not see a caution until stage break at coming to lap 12 when the 10th car flies through the start-finish line. So other than that, I mean, they stack it up in turn 1. Unless the course is completely blocked, we will not throw a caution. There we go. Pace car is about to make the hard right-hand turn down to pit road as we come through the final turn of our outlap. Mason Thompson, Chad Oxendine, your 2 leaders take us to the green flag. We're officially green for lap 1 of 30 at Watkins Glen.
Mason Thompson has the inside line heading down here into turn 1. That right-hand turn, Austin Weingart, they go around.
Oh my gosh, Weingart's going to cause some issues there. Let's see if everybody else can at least make it through. Some do, some don't. Austin Weingart, though.
Spun around
Heck of a
backwards. Huge
move.
problem.
Let's see what happened exactly right here. We'll catch back up to the action here in just a minute. Holy smokes. Weingart just missed the braking zone altogether, but everybody else seems to make it through just fine. Weingart back out there on track.
Back up front, Mason Thompson has lost the lead to Chad Oxendine. These are 2 new faces here in the ARS Next Up series. First time, possibly first winners like we saw with Dylan Basin on Monday for the ARS Cup Series.
Yeah, Oxendine and Mason Thompson so far kind of gapping the field a little bit. James Goodwin still holding on to his P3 spot, but he's got an absolute line of cars behind him. With Nathan Barrows, you got Kevin Ritchie, Ryan Philbrick back here. Everybody just kind of keeping it, maneuvering as well as they possibly can. And then we come back again to turn 1. As long as everybody can make it through this again, we should be okay. With the field more spread out now, it shouldn't be too difficult. We've got a little bit of a pack right here. They seem to all make it through just fine. Oh, there goes Wyatt Garrett all the way out to the apron. That's going to be an breaking the track limits penalty. Weingart still pulling up the last of this. John Steele in the pits after that incident happened. I think he might have got some damage from that. Eric McFarlane as well, bringing it out of the pits now. Let's go back up front.
Kyle A. Ritchie up in the 10th position. He is a fast driver on these road courses. He started all the way from the back. He's made his way into the top 10. He could be a sneaky pick to win this race. He just has to work his way through this field. That stage caution will cut him a huge break when that comes.
Yeah, Kyle A. Ritchie, also the top running Cup driver right now, and the points leader for the Cup Series. So he's out here just bushwhacking the heck out of this league right now.
He has every week. Your Dover winner in the ARS Next Up Series, currently hunting down the 66 machine of Zach Case. Going to look to the right-hand side of that 66 machine down here into turn 1. Will he make it stick?
Oh, we got Nathan Barrows around to the outside. Joins right in front of Kyle Ritchie. Nope. He's going to play it safe and just join in a little bit. There he goes. Gets back out there in a safe manner. Nathan Barrows dropping down to P10 after some incidents, but look at this pack right behind him. Mike Dombrowski battling with Randy Arms. Randy Arms now moving up the field as quickly as possible, just trying to find a way around Dombrowski there. I think he's going to take it into the chicane. As well as, I believe that's Dylan Falovich. TTSL drivers out here in force right now. Can we make it through the bus stop with no issues? We do. Dylan Falovich can try to take the pass on the high side of the carousel.
Oh, Mike Dombrowski does force him a little bit wide. Dylan's not going to be able to complete the pass on corner exit. Going to look for that crossover. Not going to quite get there. Dombrowski holds the position for now, but Falovich is going to look back to the left-hand side.
Going through the track a little bit more. All these drivers starting to kind of get spaced out now. Casey Brown, he's kind of just cruising at this point. They know they got that stage break coming. Not sure if, since this is one of our first times ever doing stage breaks, we'll have to find out if the admins remember to like close pits or anything like that. But as Josh and I were talking off air, man, Nathan Barrows swings it wide again coming out of turn 1. Turn 1 is currently the bane of his existence right now. He'll find that breaking point sooner or later. We're rooting for you, Barrows. You can do it, buddy. All right. But yeah, so Josh, we were talking a little bit before the race. We would like to see stage breaks at every race.
We would. It is a thing that creates strategy, some more interesting racing as well, considering these guys in the top 10 are battling for stage points. People get aggressive. Points are very valuable, especially if you have a slim playoff field. You got to try and get every point you can to try and make that field, to try and cushion yourself from the guy behind you. And then it kind of helps you set up towards the end of the race as well. Stages are very interesting when it comes to strategy, points, everything like that. I think it would be amazing to see something like that implemented next season, but it's kind of a test to see how it is here. Oh, the leader is sideways. Chad Oxendine got a little bit sideways, going to open the door to Mason Thompson. That kind of threw me off guard. Mason's not going to get the pass done. He's going to look to the right-hand side going into the chicane here.
Oh my gosh. And it looked like Chad was working that wheel, man, all through the S's. Like he was just trying to keep that thing recovered as much as possible. And I think he's back in a smooth spot now where he can keep Mason Thompson at bay. But Thompson was also just trying to capitalize on that quick mistake and could not do it with enough time. A little bit further back, though, James Goodwin still holding on to a steady P3 with Kevin Ritchie right behind him. Ritchie also a TTSL driver, but brother Kyle Ritchie is now in the hunt. Got the Larson on the hood. Kyle Ritchie rocking that Finley Farms 176, man. He is gaining position quick. Watch your ticker on the top left-hand side of your screen. Currently 9.5 seconds behind the leader. That's going to continue to tick down as he is a machine right now. Currently putting down one of the fastest laps as he has put down a 1:13.324 as his fastest lap. Leaders, 1:12.584. So, just under a second off for fastest lap as he starts to blink.
I could imagine the leaders are trying to save tires, but thinking back now, Chad Oxendine with that sideways move up the S's, that could have worn his tires down quite a lot. The rear tires do matter a lot here in the Gen 6 car, especially on road courses. That could affect him later on in this run, winding down towards the stage break. It could also open the door for Mason Thompson, but I've seen him slide his tires quite a bit. The two leaders are very close right now.
Yeah, it's literally just waiting for one of them to make a mistake. If it's Mason Thompson right behind him that makes the mistake, Chad runs away with this thing. If it's Chad that makes a mistake, Mason capitalizes by making the pass. Like, this is going to be... It's all going to come down to once the mistake happens, whoever it happens on, they're pretty much just going to have to cruise it out, at least try to hold on to P2, because we've only got 5 laps left until the stage flag flies.
Something that you could say that is in Mason Thompson's favor, it's a little bit of a weird thing, but Hendrick Motorsports in real life has won every single race at Watkins Glen since 2017. Chevys have had the advantage in real life the past couple of years. Will that play out the same here in the sim racing world for the ARS Next Up series?
Just checking this out real quick. Zach Scare had a little bit of an incident. Got a 4X at some point. I just want to see where this happened at. It's showing between him and Devin Wentworth, there was a 4X that happened. That might have been it right there. I don't think so, though. Zach Scare seems to have gotten it collected back up. Maybe just a few taps. Maybe just a hard enough tap to where he was able to recover quickly. But yeah, he's still on track. No damage on that car. Zach Scare still doing well. Oh no! Right as I say that, the 157 of Wyatt Garrett spins right in front of him. Holy smokes, Wyatt! No, Wyatt. All right. Wyatt's back on track, though. Heck of a spin. Got that thing right back straight again, and he's back on track.
Back up towards the front, Ryan Philbrook, Randy Arms side by side. They had a huge moment coming out of the final corner. Randy Arms got sideways, Ryan Philbrook got sideways. It was calamity. Clay Sarton as well. He's been putting the pressure on the the 06 machine of Ryan Philbrook. The pressure has been on. That's something that can get you looking up in your mirror, make you make a mistake.
I do want to go back and check out, now that these guys are starting to get spaced out a little bit, it does say Wyatt Garrett may have crashed again. I think it's just talking about that current incident, yeah. That's the replay of it right there. Wyatt Garrett gets back on track. I don't think anything else happens. But the session events, sometimes if somebody's just driving slow, it'll act like somebody crashed, but no, Wyatt's doing fine. Still moving forward.
Leader. Mason Thompson has taken the lead. I'm not exactly sure where that happened. I was looking out at the other parts of the field, but we do have a new leader. That 81 machine has found his way to the point of this race. Will he be able to run away with it and be able to take this stage win in less than 3 laps?
I'll tell you what, while these guys are continuing to battle it out here and Chad's starting to fall off a little bit, let's check out exactly what happened here. So Mason Thompson... he's been in the lead for almost an entire lap, and here it was turn 1. Turn 1, Chad winds up taking it high. Mason just has a better run off of it and coming into the S's on lap 6. He just gets the better run of it. I think it was lap 7 actually. And now he's continuing to hold it on as they battle lap traffic. Chad Oxendine makes the pass again. Oh, and we are covered in lap.
Be a big factor in the end of this race. They have the 29 right in front of them. Is the 29 going to yield over and give them the positions? I believe so. Zach Scare is a respectful racer. Chad to the left-hand side. Zach Scare pulls way off for the leaders. Very respectable move.
Oh, my
Contact
gosh.
behind the leaders.
Who was that? That was Spencer Leaf. Oh, no! Spencer Leaf starting to get sideways. Or actually, I think that might be Devin Wentworth.
Zach Scare made contact.
That's Devin Wentworth and Zach Scare. Zach Scare's just saying, get the heck out of my way. Devin Wentworth backs up. Zach Scare continues on.
He hits the inside wall.
Oh my gosh, Zach Scare may have issues here as he's trying to get that car going. We may be talking toe links or something broken. Actually, the Gen 6 doesn't have a toe link, does it?
It technically, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I think it does, but it's a lot tougher.
Back up front here. 2 leaders still battling it out, but Chad has regained the lead. And we'll continue to lead this thing. Mason Thompson, though, still waiting for just another mistake. Kyle Ritchie has now moved up to P3, taking that position away from James Goodwin, though, but he is stuck in lap traffic, and James Goodwin is right behind him in his 911 machine. Zach Zaldivar in the 155 also trying to make a move. Another Cup driver. Anytime you guys see the 3-digit numbers, it's usually a Cup driver. Kyle Ritchie in the 176, Zach Zaldivar in the 155, and then right behind them, Randy Arms in the 180, trying to cover some ground here.
This stage break.
Mason makes a move to the inside, gets loose, though. Chad's going to hold on to the lead for at least another lap. Milano, appreciate the resubscription for another Tier 1 for 2 months in a row. Revdu, appreciate the subscription. Helltrek, appreciate the subscription. B. Schwartz, Mason T, appreciate the follows. Thank you all for coming out. Go ahead, Josh. Sorry, I had to get this through. This stage break is what you were saying.
No, you're all good. This stage break could open the door for these next-gen drivers. It could completely blow the door open on this race. These next-gen drivers have been very fast so far to start the day off. Kyle Ritchie all the way up there in third. Zach Zaldivar as well. Been a very quiet day so far, but he's up there as well. It could end up being a 4 to 5 car fight for the win towards the end of this race.
On the top left-hand side of your screen, your time in tower, I'm going to throw up some stats real quick. We're going to show the fastest lap of each driver in the race session right now. You can see Oxendine and Thompson both 112, 112. Then Zaldivar in P4, the next driver in the 112 range. Everybody outside of that, nobody else has hit 112. So we may be looking at your top 3 competitive drivers there at the end of the race.
Coming around here to the stage break, Nathan Barrows currently in that 10th position. He started 4th. It's been a rough day so far for him. He's had a few moments.
Randy Arm's going to pull down pit road, give up his position. That's going to put Ryan Philbrick up to the P8 position, or P7 position. Dylan Falovich up to P9. Nathan Barrows going to take possibly P10, depending on if he passes Randy Arms. He does pass Randy Arms.
Randy Arms.
Did Randy Arms pit past the... Oh, he did. Arms pit box was past the start-finish line, so he's going to go ahead and take the P10 position for the stage break, as the caution is out for the one and only time at Watkins Glen. All right. All these drivers got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of catching up to do for the field. Everybody's got to rally it back in. I will say that the only 21 cars all the way back to Anthony Young now coming around the front stretch. Anthony Young is the last car in P21 currently sitting on the lead lap. Everybody else went a lap down. Wyatt Garrett should be the eligible lucky dog as long as he gets that wave around coming to the start-finish line and keeps it clean for the most part. Didn't have any off tracks or anything like that last minute. He should be the one to get it. All the other drivers, it's really up to them if they want to take the wave around, if they've got the fuel to make it, if they want to pit later on, or if they're just happy with being a lap down, and that's where they're gonna fight the good fight for. John Steele back out on track, as you can see. He was involved in that earlier incident, now 4 laps down, currently in the P29 position. Jerome Valley, P30, has left the race. Oh my gosh, we're having issues coming to the bus stop under caution. Right in front of John Steele, too. I believe that's Zachary Beekman. Let's rewind this real quick and see exactly what happened here. I think he's just used to taking that with more speed. The checkup was just not ready for it. Under caution, sends it into the bus stop just a little bit too hot. All right. What are we looking for at the second half of the race there, Josh?
I'm looking for Randy Arms. He made that decision to come in early, forfeit his stage points, but after all these guys pit and everything cycles through, I believe Randy Arms will come out as your leader. He has some speed at these road courses. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for Randy to hold on. I don't believe he took tires on the pit stop, but I'm not 100% sure. You could look out for him to be a potential threat to win this race, and especially with the track position here late.
Yeah, I think that's really what it's going to come down to. Randy Arms, I believe, I'm trying to find the information right now that normally tells me pit information. I believe Nope, it's not going to give me accurate pit information. So yeah, actually it does. Randy Arms last pit 1 lap ago, and then you got Zachary Beekman. He also took a pit. Eric McFarland took a pit stop. So the unfortunate situation for these guys who pit that are laps down, I don't think they're going to go wave around because I think Randy Arms is going to hold on to that position up here in the in P19, P20 now.
Yeah, everybody behind Randy Arms will not be eligible for that wave around. As long as Randy doesn't come back down and top it off or something like that. The race on pit road. Interesting here. Very valuable. Track position is important. Mason Thompson, that first pit stall, that's going to be important coming to the race off of pit road. He got in there a little bit later than Chad did, but that's because he came in second. 4 tires and off.
Oh, that's so close.
Barely loses it.
That was so close. There we go. More drivers coming off pit road. Really not too many heated battles, but I'm curious to see. I think Chad did get it. I'm gonna rewind it just a little bit and let's check this out real quick. I'm gonna slow this down, and we'll see. I think Chad is the number 77, right behind Mason there. We'll slow this down real quick. See who gets there just in time. It's gonna be that green cone, and it is. It's Chad. Chad winds up taking that race off pit road and getting there. He's gonna lock down that P2 position, as Randy Arms is currently holding down the P1. Number 29, as we talked about, Zach Scare, 1 lap down. But the way the pit cycles worked, he is up front and going to get the wave around as the lights go out on the pace car next time by.
Very fortunate to be in front of Randy Arms there for that wave around. That could be valuable for him late in this race. Not the greatest road course driver in these cars. He told us himself in the Twitch chat, but he's trying to make up for it with a strategy call.
I want to talk to Zach Scare real quick. If you got him, try to see if you could drag him down here. He may be all the way up in the Cup Series chat.
He is.
You gotta drag him like all the way down.
All right, we got him.
All right, Zach Scare, talk to us, buddy. Currently eligible for the wave around. When was the last pit stop, and what's it looking like?
Don't have a haven't pit yet. Got 5 laps left.
5 laps. So you're gonna stay out and take the wave around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's the plan after that? You gonna try to fly around the track, maybe get a pit stop in?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get in as quick as I can.
How's the tires feeling? You gonna take some tires or just gas and go?
Oh no, we're getting everything.
Getting everything. All right. I also noticed.
It's rough, man.
I noticed
the 19X isn't helping.
Yeah, as I was just gonna say, man. In chat, you already posted you got a 19X. So, what's the game plan from this point forward? You can try to keep that under 20 as much as possible.
I mean, at this point, might as well go for the record, right?
That's true. Talk to us.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything.
One last question. Talk to us about the little run-in with Devin Wentworth there for a minute, coming out of the final turn onto the front stretch.
I was just unlucky. He kept getting squirrely, and I was trying to get by him, and just wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time. I got you, buddy. All right, man. Well, good luck. Looking forward to seeing what you can do to finish off this race. Currently sitting P23, back on the lead lap. And got to get some tires and some fuel in that thing before you get back out there.
Yeah, we're going in right now, buddy. Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you, dude. All right, Zach Scare currently back on the lead lap. Let's go back to the other drivers. 2 by 2 throughout the entire field. Fresh tires, cold tires. Josh, tell us the difference between running multiple laps with warmed up tires and now coming back out and having to change up your entire style again.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. The cold tires, they're gonna feel so good to these guys. They might be cold here on the restart, but they'll get some heat in them pretty fast, and then they'll be really grippy. But these guys are gonna have to try and preserve these tires for 15 more laps around Watkins Glen. That could be a challenge within itself. If you don't preserve these tires well enough, sure, you may have a good gap on the car behind you, but then you have to suffer with the bad tire fall off. The fall off is about 2 to 3 seconds here. Which could be very bad for the guys that do not save tires as well as some of the others. But Randy Arms up front here, he might be on tires. I'm not sure. It's kind of a gamble here. I'm not sure if he is. If he isn't, it could be calamity down here in turn 1 and 2 or 1. I'm used to the ovals, man.
I know. Here we go. Time for another back marker restart. We are brought to you by backmarker.shop. You guys can use the code Finity10, save 10% off your order. Pace car makes the hard left-hand turn down pit road. Flag is out. Green flag waves were officially back green after the stage.
Mason Thompson there, the car behind Randy Arms. He's been one of the fastest ones all day. He's going to try and get around Arms as fast as possible, I'd think. Going to be side by side with Kyle Ritchie now, brother of Kevin Ritchie, the TTSL boys. Randy Arms, I believe, has new tires considering the gap he has pulled.
He is pulling away. Randy Arms currently not as fast as the leaders when it comes to best lap, but this is his first time out front. We may see some...
Anthony Young goes around. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but that was right in the middle of the field. I believe he went off of the nose of Matt Frady. Anthony Young going to get it spun back around now.
Let's check this out again real quick. Anthony Young in that pink car. I think it is. I think it's just he gets... Actually, it looks like he just gets loose on his own, hits that inside wall, and then comes back up and hits Matt Frady, and then gets smacked into the inside wall. He does get that car back going then, and may or may not have some issues. Definitely some damage on the rear end. Front end doesn't look too bad, though. Back up front.
Chad Oxendine, he's looked a few times on Randy Arms, but him looking has created an opening for Kyle Ritchie. He's going to go way down there, gets blocked all the way to the wall, but he still has the left-hand side going to turn one. He's going to hold it side by side as they go up through the S's. They wreck behind them.
Oh, there is a wreck behind him, though. Who was that?
That's the 198 of Casey Brown has gone around. Another one has gone around. That's Beekman.
95
One guard goes wide as well.
Oh my gosh, John Steele just runs into him. Holy smokes. Let's see if we can take this back around and see what happened to Casey here. Oh, the 74 just gets loose into him, and then Frady runs into the back of Casey. Casey just kind of collateral damage in this. Trying to make it back out. Almost gets hit by the second wreck that happens. Weingart's just playing lawnmower sim coming through the infield there, and then you see John Steele right at the very end. Beekman getting obviously the worst of it. Back up front. Randy Arms now having a 5-car gap.
There was some heavy battling down the front straightaway between Chad and Kyle Ritchie. Chad blocked Ritchie all the way to the inside wall. That created that gap for Randy Arms. He's loving what he's seeing in this mirror right now. A lot of hard racing for these positions. Mason Thompson, he was fast early after the pit strategy Randy Arms has pulled. He has fallen back to 4th. 5th place is Zach Zaldivar. He's been fast all day as well. He could be a sneaky pick to win if some calamity happens here in front of him.
James Goodwin, who started P3, still holding on as much as he can to his top 10 position. Currently falling back to P6, but he's been passed by a few Cup drivers. Zach Zaldivar not in front of him. Kyle Ritchie, I thought at some point Ritchie had at least a hope of making that pass. Oh my gosh, Ritchie goes through the grass for just a second. But now, Ritchie didn't only not make the pass on Chad, but Mason Thompson's now peeking. Zach Zaldivar goes underneath him. Aiming to get some turn here. Mason Thompson closes the door.
Zaldivar, he keeps peeking out. He's trying to get a move done, or maybe he's just trying to scare Mason into making a mistake. Whatever he's trying, it's not working yet. He's going to keep trying. He looked to the left-hand side through the final corner. It's just going to lose him speed there on corner exit.
Here we go on board now with Mason Thompson coming through turn 1. Nice, steady turn into... Oh my gosh, my ATVO just crashed.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
ATVO just crashed. All right, let me put up the race info for you guys real quick. Again, this is the Harris Hill Amusement. I'm just going to leave that up there for a second as I load into ATVO again. There we go.
Kyle Ritchie is peeking. He's not going to get there. The door is shut on him by Chad. Chad Oxendine, he's closed the distance here on Randy Arms. Lap 19 out of 30 as they go through the carousel. I believe that's what it is. The boot part of the track. That's what this is. Gotta love Watkins Glen.
There you go. Randy Arms, that gap is closing, man. I know I can't click on him real quick, but you guys can see him. That's the thing about ATVO is it has all my camera controls and everything. So we're just kind of sitting here on board. Mason Thompson gets all the camera time. Oh, Kyle Ritchie disappears in front of him.
That would have scared me. Mason Thompson, I believe, backed out of it to save himself. Kyle Ritchie is having some internet problems. He did on Monday as well. That did cost him some spots, I believe. He started way in the back because of his internet issues. This could plague him here late in this one as well.
The top 5, though, just not letting up. James Goodwin has lost some ground, as you can see there. There we go. We're starting to get some stuff popping back up here on the screen for you guys. Yeah, Mason Thompson, he's starting to get a little bit of a gap between them, but James Goodwin, he's about, I'd say, 9 car lengths behind, just kind of biding his time, and really where this could pay off is if these top 5 wind up really getting into each other and causing some issues up the road here.
I mean, they are all under a blanket. They're all really close. It could take one mistake from, say, Mason Thompson or Zach Zaldivar. Just go bowling here at the Glen. That used to be the name here in real life, but if they do go bowling, that would pay out huge for the sponsor of today's race, James Goodwin.
James Goodwin, let's go back and see where he's at right now. Let's jump on board with him. As you can see, he's, from his point of view, like, he's really not that far off. Jake Pittiguro and Devin Wentworth now in the pits. Oh my gosh, who was that?
That's Zachary Beekman there in the 95 machine. He came around through the final corner, I believe.
Right by
lost
the
it there on pit
leaders, too.
entrance.
Yeah, so Goodwin's not in a terrible spot. You see what 4 seconds looks like outside of his windshield here. It's really not bad. 4 seconds on an oval is terrible. 4 seconds on a road course, you're not in a terrible place. And James Goodwin has the chance to make this up if he's saving tires. If tires comes into it, James Goodwin has a chance that some of this saving that he's doing could wind up paying off dividends, as we've only got 9 laps to go. We are back up and operational, by the way, there, Josh.
Oh, that is wonderful. I've been waiting on that. They keep battling up front. It is very intense up front. Everybody else is kind of spread out as we have one in the grass way behind the leaders. That would be Anthony Young again. Another incident here today.
Let's see if we can rewind this real quick and see exactly what happened to Anthony Young. Just coming around the carousel. Looks like he might have caught the rumble strips just the wrong way. Yep. Just enough to send his car around into the inside wall. Doesn't look like it did too much to hurt him, but he just collects it, gets back out there. 3 laps down now for Anthony Young.
Randy Arms under pressure as he goes wide through the first corner. Kyle Ritchie looking to the inside.
Oh, my gosh.
That'd be Chad. Looking to the inside. He's not going to quite get there, but Chad is your new leader now.
Chad takes it back.
Through the S's. They're about to be 3 wide. Kyle going to close the door on Mason Thompson. Now back to the outside for Mason Thompson through the carousel.
Oh,
Kyle Ritchie looking to the... Ooh, Randy Arms. He is all over the road.
All over the road. Holy smokes. Randy Arms, man. He's just trying not to lose as much position as he wants. Kyle Ritchie going to make a peak, stays on the inside, hoping to get some momentum on the inside of Randy Arms coming into this next turn. He's got it. He's got his bumper just inside the left quarter panel. I think Randy Arms going to take it, though, on the front stretches. No! Kyle Ritchie sends it into the final turn. Can he keep it off the wall? He does. Randy Arms drops another spot. Chad
Mason
now
Thompson going to take advantage of the Randy Arms slide through the final corner there as well. Looking to the left-hand side through turn 1. Is he going to get it done? Not quite. Side by side as they head into the S's. Mason Thompson gets a little bit sideways as they come out of turn 1, going down the front straightaway, getting on the accelerator a little bit too hard. Still side by side through the S's, a very close race. I believe Randy Arms has killed his tires. He's been sliding all over the road. They're still side by side. Zach Zaldivar looking to take advantage of it.
Randy is just fighting for his life right now as drivers are just using him up. Lincoln Bond in the chat says, "That's my boy Chad out there." This is your boy Chad. Chad Oxendine has shown an absolute dominant performance so far, leading most of the laps coming up to the stage, putting in the work. And now, holding back down the lead after starting P2 after the stage break. Chad Oxendine back in the lead. Back here to this
Another-
battle. Mason looking underneath Randy, just trying to find anywhere to put that Crown Royal machine. He's... Oh! I don't know if he meant to turn that way or if the back end got loose on that 81 car. Here we go, turn 1. Can he make the complete pass on Randy Arms? No, he's going to check up, give him the time. He might be using up tires as well, which could be
Mason
hurting all of
has
them.
to be getting frustrated with this battle that's been going on here with Randy Arms. Just not been able to get the move completed. Gonna try and make another move as they go down this short shoot. I believe this is what this is called, man. The names are all messed up here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'll tell you
We're trying to
what.
figure it out.
I'll tell you what though. We're not normally like we're not normally road guys. We're big time oval guys. We don't mind racing road, but broadcasting road is a different animal. Randy gets loose coming out of the bus stop. That's gonna give
Opens
Mason
the door
the
for Mason Thompson.
Yeah, he takes it. And now it's all going to be up to Zach Zaldivar to try and make this pass. Zaldivar immediately sends it to the outside of Randy Arms. A little bit of door banging coming down this backstretch here, I guess. But yeah, what I was saying was we're not normally road broadcasters, so we don't really know all the names of the turns. But I will tell you, normally road racing is boring, and this has been exciting so far. I think that stage break is the way to go, man. It stacks everybody back up. James Goodwin now getting a little loose out of that final turn coming on the front stretch, but he's got a collected Chad Oxendine starting to gap a little bit as he's got 1.3 seconds on Kyle Ritchie. Mason Thompson, after completing the pass, trying to make back up ground that he lost, getting stuck behind Randy for a little bit.
The last 2 times around, Kyle Ritchie has been slightly faster than Chad Oxendine. Oxendine has made a few mistakes throughout the course of today's running that could open the door for Kyle Ritchie if he gets just a little bit closer. But right now, it's clean windshield for Oxendine. Lap traffic a little bit up there in front of him.
Yeah, let's jump on board with him real quick, see what's going on up front here. Oxendine has got lap traffic. You can see they're fairly spread out, so he's going to have to... He's going to have to kind of plan these passes to where he can make it and not lose any ground to Ritchie, who is right on his tail. Here we go. Number 15 pulls it down. Does he do the honor? He does. He moves out of the way. Oxendine not going to get held up by the number 15 of Brandon Yates. Makes it through cleanly. Let's look at this
Going
gap
back to
a little
the
bit.
field, we have a battle for the 16th position between Hulk and Dolly.
Oh
Dolly
my gosh!
them!
Just as I got there, Dolly goes around. Let's see if we can rewind that real quick and see what happened here. They were door banging through the bus stop here. There we go. A little bit of door banging through the bus stop. They come out. They make it through just fine. Dolly then comes down. Looks like he might do a little bit of nose chopping. I think there might have been mutual contact there. The good thing for Dolly is that the back of his car runs into the barrier, which will hopefully not affect the performance too much. Maybe a little bit on the downforce. But Dolly's back out there. Let's talk about Randy Arms pitting, though.
Yeah, just coming off a pit road. I'm not sure what happened to that 180 machine. I'm not sure if he just came down for fuel or maybe right side tires to try and fix the balance of his race car. He was kind of parachuting there when we were on board with Randy, or maybe he hopes to make up the distance with fresh tires all the way back here in the 13th position now, I believe.
12th right now, but yeah, I think Randy might... Kyle Ritchie took the lead at some point. We're going to go check this out because I don't want you guys to miss anything of what happens here. Let's go back. All right. Here we are coming into the carousel. Kyle Ritchie is pointing it underneath. He is blinked out right now. There he goes. All right, so this is a replay of what just happened. We're coming out to the backstretch. Kyle Ritchie gets an absolute run off the carousel, catching back up to Chad, closing down the gap. Let's fast forward just a little. Oh my gosh, Chad makes a mistake and sends it high. He slides through that turn because I don't know the names of them, which gives Kyle Ritchie the opening. Chad now still hanging onto the heels of Kyle Ritchie. But look who's not too far behind, Josh. Mason Thompson and Zach Zaldivar are closing up this gap quick. Down to 1.7 seconds. 1.6.
Thompson has been faster than the leaders the last time around. He could close the gap here, but he does have to worry about that 77 machine of Chad Oxendine. He's running a little bit slower. I believe that mistake kind of ruined his tires. But right in front of Kyle Ritchie, it's not over yet. He has lap traffic. Zach Zaldivar now looking to the inside of Mason Thompson. Not going to quite get there. Mason Thompson leaves him a little bit of room as they come out of turn 1.
John Steele doing the right thing, just pulling off to the side, letting the leaders go, letting them fly by, letting them have their own battle. Chad Oxendine still holding on to P2, but I just told you it was 1.7 seconds. Thompson has now closed that down to 1.3, almost 1.2 coming back into the bus stop. Zach Zaldivar also not giving up an inch behind Mason Thompson. And I got to tell you, this does something to the mental state of a driver. Nothing's worse than when you're going around a road course and somebody is just on your rear end. Like, this is... It's the worst feeling in the world because you don't know if they're going to miss a braking point. You don't know if they're going to try and make a pass on you. You don't know if they're going to bump and run you into the turn. Like, there's so much to worry about. You're trying not to rear view mirror drive on a road course, which makes it super difficult. And the stress level that it adds can start to lead to mistakes for somebody like Mason Thompson. But it's Zach Zaldivar who makes the mistake first and now gets about 7 car lengths between him and Mason. A little bit further
time by,
go for
Oxendine has found a little bit more pace than Kyle Ritchie. That could have been a lap traffic thing, possibly. Mason Thompson faster than the both of them by almost 0.3 of a second.
Mason Thompson not going to give up easily, man. He is sliding coming out of the S's, letting you know he is pushing that thing to the absolute limit. As these drivers continue to battle it out, we got a little bit of seconds and a little bit of time. Let's go through the field real quick. James Goodwin still sitting in P5, doing well. Last pit stage break. Matt Frady holding on to P6. Kevin Ritchie now holding on to a top 10 in P7. Zach Case P8 with Clay Sarton not too far behind him. The rest of that is lap traffic in between them. Nathan Barrows holding on to the last position of the top 10. Wound up running into some issues early on, but not doing too bad. He's got Ryan Philbrick right behind him in the P11 position, hoping to get his top 10 spot as well. Randy Arms still in the P12 position, running the fastest laps, almost the fastest laps on the track right now, as his last one was a 1:14, which is only on pace with Chad Oxendine and Zach Zaldivar. Actually, it's only on pace with the top 4. Dylan Valovich in the P13 position, just kind of hanging on, running 1:16s. Casey Brown as well.
Sorry to cut you off, but the battle for the lead is heated up quite a bit. Oxendine is right there for the pickings. He got really close coming out of the final corner. He lost a little bit of time through the S's in the first corner. Gains a little bit of time on the exit of the S's. He ran a faster lap time by 0.4 of a second last time by, as this is the white flag. Lap traffic just in front of them.
Lap traffic could play a part on the white flag lap as we see the 37 does the respectable thing, moves out of the way, but Chad Oxendine is not giving up. Currently sitting on the bumper of Kyle Ritchie, Mason Thompson as well. Zach Zaldivar has fallen behind just a little bit, so really your battle here is for the P1 and 2 positions. Chad Oxendine last messed up this turn, does it perfectly this time. Does he send it into the final turn?
He almost gets there, not going to be enough. Out of turn 4, Kyle Ritchie.
Kyle Ritchie's going to go ahead and take the win. Chad Oxendine's going to take P2. Mason Thompson brings it across P3. Zach Zaldivar P4. James Goodwin about 16 seconds back. Dropped significantly, but he's still going to hold on to a top 5 as he brings it across the start-finish line. Matt Frady not too far behind him. Going to hold down that P6. Kevin Ritchie P7. Zach Case currently got Clay Sarton behind him, but Clay gets a little bit loose. Not going to throw a battle for the finish. P9 for Clay, P8 for Zach. Ryan Philbrick makes the pass on Nathan Barrows at the last minute.
Barrows runs out of fuel.
Nathan Barrows might have run out of fuel. Randy Arms holds on to P12. Dylan Falovich P13. Casey Brown and Thomas Houck. Oh, man, I thought that was going to be a battle, but everybody's getting loose coming out. Brown and Hawk, 14 and 15. Joseph McGill going to lock down that 16. Austin Weingard, who had turn 1 issues to start the race, as well as a little bit of grass time, going to lock down that P17 position. We saw Jonathan Dolly get turned not too long ago, but he's going to hold on to P18 with Mike Dombrowski in the S's still. Mike Dombrowski going to be P19. P20 for Spencer Leaf. And everybody else. From then on, we will get to you with the on-screen results here in just a minute. Congrats to Kyle Ritchie. What's up?
Falovich crashed after the checkered flag.
I understand your frustration, Falovich. I completely understand it.
Randy Arms as well. A bunch of junk race cars.
Just take it off. Take it off into the turn one wall, man. Just that's all you got to do at the end of these things. Randy Arms heavily damaged. I can only imagine the frustration from Randy leading a bunch of laps here. Wind up bringing it home. P12 ever have to pit at the last minute there. Kyle Ritchie burns it down. Takes another W in the Next Up Series. Has a W in the Cup Series. Kyle Ritchie, your race winner at... Oh, where's my race info button? At the Harris Hill Amusement Park 30 at the Glen. All right, we're going to wait for these guys to get into the booth here so we can give them interviews. Let's catch up on chat real quick. Let's go, Chad from Lincoln Bond. The blink saved him. Oh, I think it 100% did. I think he was going to use a little bit of bumper there on Kyle, and then Kyle blinked in the right amount of time, man. Just the perfect amount of time. Good run tonight, guys, from Hell Trek. Giving a shout-out to all the guys who ran. Good finish from Richard Eats Boogers. But, yeah, Kyle Ritchie going to go ahead and take that thing home. James Goodwin, shout-out again. Currently sitting up there on the turn one. Randy Arms burning it down as well. Shout-out to that paint scheme, 911. Never forget 911 paint scheme, man. Good, best paint scheme of the night. Again, shout out for the Harris Hill Amusement Park 30 sponsorship. All right, let's see what we got. Anybody in the broadcast waiting room? You know what? Kyle Ritchie is. Yeah, Randy, your car sounds like crap, man. I just heard him pull up to Kyle Ritchie. That thing sounded like it was leaking oil. All right. Josh. Pull up, oh, there he is. Kyle's here.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Talk us through it, man. Tell us about these laps and stuff you got going on. How'd you pull this off? What'd you think of the stage break? You know, just give us a whole recap.
Oh, the stage break was awesome because I could send it for 11 laps, and I took tires and I sent it for 15 more laps, so it was fun.
So reference the stage break being something fairly new this season. Is it something you'd like to see on ovals, or is it just good for like the road to get that whole stack back up again?
I'll be honest, I don't hate stage racing, so I would love to see it on ovals just to reset us, especially if someone has an issue on lap 2. It's nice to have that like third, fourth stage of them. Good to have a mark of where you need to get to, and then just reset. Good to have that reset, mental reset sometimes is nice, and then you have the rest of the race to forget what happened the first half of the race or first third of the race.
So talk us through that first stage, man. You said you were able to just send it. We noticed you fly through the field. How much of that did you gain on like the turn one just chaos that happened?
Unfortunately, Austin had an unfortunate turn one, but he helped me pass like 6 cars, I'm pretty sure. I think I started 23rd. I ended up like 11th by lap 1, so we were moving.
Hell of a move. Hell of a move. Let's see if we can throw up your positions gained real quick. Kyle Ritchie up 22 spots for the night. You're also the highest gainer of the night, so that's 2 awards. 2 awards, 1 show. Kyle Ritchie, now a 2-time winner, I believe, in Next Up, or 3-time? 2-time?
2-time.
2-time winner, 1 in the Cup Series, going into Monday night as the Cup Series points leader. What do you have planned now that you've gotten some Watkins Glen practice under your belt?
Hopefully a solid top 5 run, maybe get another win just to solidify my first place. I wanna be the regular season champion. I don't think I'm gonna win the title this year because there's too many good guys. But if I can claim that I won a regular season championship, I'll be happy enough. So that's what our goal is for the rest of the year.
All right, man. We'll keep getting your practice in the Next Up Series. Try not to demoralize these guys too much, and looking forward to seeing what you do Monday night. Kyle Ritchie, your race winner.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you, bud. All right. Randy Arms in the broadcast waiting room, and I have nobody else hanging out waiting. I don't have a Chad or a Mason Thompson, so let's talk to Randy Arms. Randy
Hello.
Arms. Talk us through it, buddy, because I want to know what happened.
Well, I pitted before the stage
Yeah.
to try to jump the field, and I was like, I'm gonna pit here, and then when the yellow comes out, I'll come down and top off. Well, I didn't realize that when I came out of pit road, I was gonna let everybody that was on the track by, and they were like 20 seconds back. I was like, well, if I wait for them, I won't come out with the lead. So screw it, I'll stay out, and maybe I'll make it on fuel, but I didn't. I was just short. So my plan almost worked.
It almost worked. I saw a couple people like Nathan Barrows and stuff look like they ran out of fuel coming to the line. How close was the fuel run if you did pit at the stage?
Sounds like everyone was about a half a lap to the good. So if I could have came down and topped off, yep, I would have been all right. And then I could have kind of raced that last, or say the end of the race a little different. I was trying to save fuel and stay in the lead, and that's just impossible.
Oh, and those guys did not make it easy on you at all. Like that, those top five for a while were just fighting, man. So
yeah,
probably some of the best road racing I've seen. It was just back and forth nonstop.
Yeah, it was fun. This car is a handful there. She likes to light up the tires, so you really got to be easy on it, or you'll burn them up real quick. So.
All right, Randy Arms, man. Last question. I also asked Kyle Ritchie this. Stages? What you think? I know you come from a league that had stages. What do you think of it, especially for road courses?
I've never been a fan of stages, but I do like it when we have it on road courses because it does give you, at least one yellow to, if you mess up, you can kind of regroup. Or if you have a bad qualifying, time, especially for us here in the next where we can't qualify, it kind of gives us a shot because it'll bunch the field back up. So I don't mind them on road courses when we don't have yellows. I don't really like them on any other track because I'm more of a long run type guy. So
I hear you, man.
I'm all right with it.
I hear you, dude. All right, we'll let you get out of here. Good race tonight, man. I'm fortunate to see you drop back down to P12 due to fuel, but still doesn't take away from the fact that you led some laps out here and had probably one of the hardest fights for the lead that we've seen in a while at Watkins Glen. So,
yep.
All right, good race, dude. We'll see you. All right, final word. We got to give him the final word. I know he's down there sharing his screen and stuff like that, but we got to give you the final word. Our sponsor tonight, James Goodwin. What you got to say, man?
Oh, good race overall. Obviously a little mishap on lap one. Luckily that was all behind me. I was glad to be qualifying up front. Austin's pretty upset with himself, but yeah, that's what happens.
Hey,
but,
we all have those
race.
nights. Tell Austin not to worry about it. We all have those nights.
He wasn't too confident coming into the road course anyway, and I said, just keep it on the track, man. You'll be fine. And he didn't make it through the first turn, so he brought it back out though and finished the race. So
you held a solid finish, man. P5 started P3. Really didn't lose too many spots there, and you were pretty consistent. Probably one of the most consistent cars out there as everybody else was battling for position back and forth, back and forth. You just kind of met your turns, met your braking points, got everything locked down, and finished with a top 5. Anything you want to walk us through on the race itself?
I said I wanted a top 5. I was lucky to pull that off. I'll tell you, when the tires started to wear down, it was tough. The braking, I started braking a lot earlier. The wheel hop got terrible. Just plowing through corners, so I just adjusted. I got lucky. I got into a pocket in between the guys who were really fast that were 5 seconds ahead of me and the guys that were 5 seconds behind me. So it helped to be consistent when you weren't racing door to door with somebody.
Yeah, we actually talked about that during the broadcast. It's like nothing's worse than when you just have somebody either right in front of you or right behind you at a road course. Like it's one of the most stressful things to sit there and watch. But yeah, man. Solid finish. Again, thank you for the sponsorship. Get one more shout out in for the good old Harris Hill Amusement Park and share that link with us.
Absolutely, yeah. If you guys are anywhere near Elmira, New York, stop by. We're closed for the season now, but we open back up second Saturday in April.
Second Saturday in April, Harris Hill Amusement Park. How far are you away from Watkins Glen?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes, and you close for race weekend?
So usually Watkins weekend is in August. They moved it to the playoffs.
Oh, no.
My dad decided we're going to close a week early just so he doesn't have to worry about the park. He can just focus on having a good time at the races.
That's all. Hey, shout out to Dad, man. Go have a good time at the race, dude. Hopefully you and the family have a good time. Shout out to your top 5, dude, and thanks again for the sponsorship for Harris Hill Amusement Park 30
Absolutely.
at the Glen. James
Thanks again,
Goodwin,
guys.
you can go back down there and share your screen again, buddy. We'll see you.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, that's a wrap, bud. What'd you think?
It is indeed. It was a very exciting race for Watkins Glen. I like the road courses quite a lot. I enjoy watching them. I enjoy racing them, but I was not expecting such a great race here at the Glen. Heading into next week, we head on into Auto Club here in the NEXTUP series in the ARCA car. Me and hopefully Brandon Richard will be in the broadcast booth. It's going to be a blast. Tonight was fun. I'm expecting a lot of good racing next week as well.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon Richard, too. Currently going through the hurricane. I already forgot the name of the hurricane. Is it Hurricane Irene or something?
Oh, man, I have no idea. I don't live in America. I don't have to worry about it.
Hey, but shout out to Richard, man. Lost power at 8:01, and the race starts at 8:30, so I had to jump on and knock out the broadcast for him. But big shout out to him. Hopefully he makes it through safely. Everything goes well, and we see him on the other side tomorrow morning. Where at that point, it'll be hitting me up here in just about 5 hours north of him. So, yeah, that's it for Harris Hill 30. Harris Hill Amusement Park 30 at the Glen. As you guys know, catch us every Monday night, 8:30 for the Cup Series. Watch the top-tier drivers. Not to say any of these drivers are not top-tier, but they all battle to get into the Cup Series. Watch the Cup Series guys battle it out at Watkins Glen starting Monday, 8:30. Like Josh said, next Wednesday, Auto Club, right here, back with the NEXTUP guys. Battlegrounds, randomly throughout the week. Keep an eye on our social media at Race Affinity on every social media platform to find out when Battlegrounds is going up. And Super Saturdays every weekend, every Saturday. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. As always, we are sponsored by Backmarker.shop. If you guys want to go hit them up, Backmarker.shop, use the code Affinity10, save 10% off your order. Bunch of new merch dropping. Go check it out. Just go entertain me and go check it out. I guarantee you won't be disappointed with some of the designs that were recently put up and stuff that goes on over there. So you guys can have a good time just laughing at some of the shirts that are up there that centralize around our sim racing community and racing communities as a whole. Free channel points. Just join the raid. We're going to go raid one of our buddies, one of the guys who you just saw here in the race tonight. It's the one, the only Hail Trek. You guys go tell him what's up from Affinity Racing Series, and we will catch you guys next time. Later.